Is your business today better than it was yesterday? I don't mean did you have a better day, but is the way that you work, deliver, market, and otherwise operate your organization more effective than it was 24 hours ago? As a CEO or any leader, you are on a constant quest of improvement, or you should be at least. The best companies in the world didn't get there in one giant leap. In almost every case, they made constant, incremental changes that led over time to exponentially increased results. It's just a question of maths. If every day you made a 1% improvement in the way you run your business, over a year, you'll be 38 times better than you are today, or 37.78 to be exact. But over a decade, it's even more compelling. A 1% improvement every single day for 10 years makes you 5.93 quadrillion times better than you are now. Is that a compelling enough number for you? Now, this insight has led to the widely adopted business practice of marginal gains, which was most famously implemented by Sir Dave Brailsford and the British cycling team, whose constant search for 1% margins of improvement across every aspect of performance led to 5 Tour de France victories and a glut of Olympic gold medals. But the reality is that just keeping pace with the world today requires constant improvement. We see it in our work at Singular, especially over the last 18 months. Things that used to be highly effective in areas like marketing just don't work anymore. And so companies must constantly innovate in order to survive. Most are pretty poor at it though. While a McKinsey survey recently found that 84% of CEOs believe innovation is crucial, the same study revealed that only 6% were happy with their innovation efforts. So every day, your job is to find that 1% and initiate action on it. The good news is it's just a simple 3-step process. First, make sure you're very clear about what you do, down to the most granular level. Map your processes, track your activity, and document everything. Yes, it can be dull at times, but it's nearly impossible to identify inefficiencies, duplication, and wildly varying practices without knowing what's really happening. But as soon as you start to genuinely understand what's really going on in your business, the opportunities for improvement will begin making themselves apparent. And once you've done that, measure your results. Not only your ultimate outcomes, but all the KPIs, ratios, conversions, and other important metrics that you have. Gathering data on these things helps you to understand the reality of the situation. In our search business, for example, we had a relatively recent situation where the team felt that a client was being unreasonable in their expectations around what we could deliver, leading to lots of frustration on both sides. On further investigation, though, we saw that in fact, although the team were working hard and making lots of contact with potential candidates, their conversion rate from that contact to actual screening calls was poor, and so they weren't actually presenting the client with many options. A small tweak in the content of their outreach led to excellent results, but if we hadn't investigated the data, the action we'd have taken would likely have been another conversation with the client to align expectations, which would have led to more frustration and potentially, eventually, a lost account. Understanding the reality of the situation is crucial to improving it. Finally, try something that might improve your results every day. Some ideas won't work, and then some will deliver much more than a 1% increase in outcome, and that variation's okay. If you think there's a decent chance that an action you take will make things better, then try it. And always make sure to get your team's input into idea generation. The people closest to the work itself will usually come up with the best potential improvements. And while you're making these improvements, make sure to stay really focused on your outcomes. Improving a conversion ratio is great, but if that has a negative impact on the end result, for example, on customer satisfaction, well then you'll regress overall. Constant improvement is no longer an ideal to aspire to. It's a necessity for any modern business. You don't have to make daily sweeping changes though, and nor should you. Small measurable tweaks create a compounding effect that moves you further and faster along your path to success. Get your processes mapped, understand the metrics and ratios that drive your business, and experiment with improving them. and start today. A year from now, your organization will be unrecognizable.